Welcome, 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 welcome. This live is for the two groups of people we walk amongst: the awakened, the knowledgeable, and the sheeps, the followers. And I've been plugged in for a while, man. I've been plugged in for a while. And like the hardest thing being awakened, you know that grumpiness you feel when somebody wake you, especially for stupid things? That's just what it is. When you're awakened and people do and say stupid things, you know, it's like you don't feel the need to be around people anymore, right? Because you vibrate with calmness, you vibrate with humbleness, you vibrate higher, you know. You just want peace, serenity, solitude. Because for me, at my age, I have my whole life to correct. From the time I gain consciousness, from the time I gain sense, I have that to correct. Every word I utter. Now, and these are the difficulties because you have to analyze everything. You have to analyze every word and see if it's logical and if it makes sense and make sure that there's no other meaning behind it. If that one word is a singular word and it's a powerful word, I mean, it belongs, it's original. But there's a lot of words now come about and you don't even know what I mean, but they're just using it as slang as for reason, as in terms and in phrases, you know. And we gotta cut those words out. So, like, I mean, like right now, trying to empty the vessel, it leave a lot of blank spaces, right? And it leave you can't connect the dot because everything that you would have referenced, everything that you would have connected to, is history, and you don't. That's is bad history. It's negative. I mean, it's stifling. It's stagnant. You know, it's comfortable. So, I mean, to keep you in a state of wondering and pondering. I mean, yeah, you smile a lot. That's the thing, because you have to smile when you see stupid people. You have to smile when people don't understand. You have to smile when somebody want to build an argument and referencing back the same damn poison they use. You can't argue with me with the same poison, you know. So I mean, like, that's the thing. You just go blank because your choice of words doesn't match up. It's not the same anymore. Again, I mean, like, all my life, I mean, I was raised right. I mean, I was disciplined right. You know, try to use certain words and certain scale and just feel like it didn't fit right with me, you know. I mean, I don't like the degrading word. I hate to call people like names and stuff. Like, I mean, you know, even a girl, some girls, they like to be called bitch and stuff. But, I mean, I mean, is it right for me to call somebody a bitch? But what I'm going to say right now is that, you know, what I get to realize is words. And in using words, words is just vibration. It's just vibration. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Any word could be used against you, you know. And this is where it's hard being awakened, because if I have to have a conversation with someone, right, and during that conversation I say, dude, you're an asshole, right? I mean, that could go two ways. That could well, it could go three ways. It could go with a swing to my face, you know, I mean, instigating violence. It can go to the fact that the person will accept the compliment, and it could go the person want clarity. And why they're an asshole? Ava, hey, relax. No. No. So that's it. They may want clarity on why they're an asshole. Hey, you're gonna go. Come. Yeah, sorry for that. Just trying to get the doctor some free time. Yeah, so I mean, those are the three ways, right? But if I said to you that you're an asshole, And I mean, for those who are here, I mean, share this live, put it out there because, like, as I said, I was plugged in. I am plugged in, and there's a lot of knowledge, man, and I'm just tapped in. And the way I look at it is tapped in into God's mind. I mean, as an awakened one, we could reference God in many different aspects. Okay, so it might not be the God that you're looking at, and I said the God, yeah. But we'll come to that later on in life. I mean, just stay awake, you know, stay awake. Hello, Sabir, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Share the life, please. Share the life. You know, I mean, I have a lot of perspective. I'm not gonna say knowledge because you have to conform it as knowledge, but I have a lot of perspective for the sleeping people, for the people who's unawakened. You know, and it's just to revise everything that we think we know, because when it comes to it, we know nothing. We know nothing. We program well, and we remember our program well. And our program is, I mean, we have a lot of safeguards in our program, a lot of safe space in our program, you know, and is where we go for comfort when we're still stressed out in the game, in the program. I mean, it's like you go to work, and I mean, you got a 5 minutes break. The thing is, you're still at work. You still have your work to do. It's just a 5 minutes break. So, I mean, the program is so comfortable that they give us, let's use holidays and shit. You understand? We work how much days a year? How much, what, 52 weeks? How much weeks out of a year, right? To get 2 weeks vacation, 3 weeks vacation, 4 weeks vacation. You understand? That's just a break. That's just for us to get a moment of happiness to go back in the same industry. But yeah, I mean, we sleep. So come back to it. Words. Words is just a vibration. So if I call somebody an asshole now, if I call somebody an asshole, and I say you are an asshole, and that person look at me and say, yes, I know. I will look at that person in a different light. I will look at that person in a different light, meaning that person is enlightened. To some extent, that's how I'm going to put it. I mean, non-judgment. That person is enlightened. That person may be awake, right? And it's for me to press and see where that goes and where that stands. Now, because in being awake, you appreciate these things. And word, again, is just a vibration. And when you are awake, you have to be an asshole to the people that's sleeping, right? So that's where you come about being an asshole, and that's why you could accept it as a compliment. So with words of vibration, a lot of the words that we deem negative, is actually positive words. It's empowering words. It's reminding us to be ourselves, for ourselves, to love ourselves, you know? So, for example, using some other word, ignorant, arrogant, right? If anybody call me those words, that's a compliment to me, right? I mean, you know harm. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm not going to argue with you. I accept your compliment because in today's world, I have to be ignorant and arrogant, right? About others' perspective, about what others is trying to push on me. You understand? So I am righteous arrogant. I am righteously ignorant, righteously arrogant, if you understand what I'm saying. You understand? So this is where you understand words. And I mean, like, if somebody who's not awakened call me ignorant, I would vibrate to their level, and this is the vibration because now, why are the reason they calling me ignorant? Based on their perspective. Because I didn't match their entitlement. I didn't meet their entitlement. So I am ignorant. I don't want to listen to what they have to say. But what they have to say is all systemic things, is all stuff that doesn't bother me. I don't chase the hype. I don't chase the life. So if I don't want to hear nothing about the life, I'm not ignorant. You know, in my space I'm present. Yes, there are times I could vibrate with a positive conversation about a celebrity, right? Positively. But to gossip on somebody whose bread already butter, to spend time talking about Nas this, Drake this, P Diddy this, any rapper. I mean, I'm not singling anybody. You know, everybody have the music. They do their thing. That's their vibration, right? But do I have time to make that a conversation of the center of my thing? No. No, I can't vibrate and be gossiping about people. So in the moment, I exist, I try to be better. I try to create a positive reality. I try for every moment, every second to be new, right? I try to create my present and future. Not too much in the future, because then this will take you into the mindset of preparing for whatever. We're not supposed to really prepare for nothing. Nobody's supposed to be preparing for you. You know, preparing lead to failure, destruction. You understand? We're just supposed to experience life. We're not supposed to dwell in the past. We are not. The past is only for us to navigate, to correct our present, not to make the same mistake again. This is why you have to remember. You understand? But not dwell. We're not supposed to dwell there. It's just remember. So let's say, for example, I mean, yesterday's gone, today's today. I'm creating my own. I'm creating my own destiny, because I'm gonna have to elaborate a lot more on this in creating your own thing. You understand? So I'm creating my own present right now, and I'm going about my day. And I see something that look well, and yes, we're here to live, to eat, whatever. I see something that I'm gonna eat now, right? And I pick this up to eat, but I remember eating this 2 days ago, and something happened, right? I mean, the neurons got a fire to know that, okay, well, and this is something already exists in your life. Let's call it a mango. Already exists in my life. But the last time I ate a mango, something happened that, I mean, it was just me experiencing life. But now I'm gonna eat a mango again, because I'm creating my future, and I'm creating my future, my present, my future. And right now in this moment, I wanna eat a mango again. Not the same mango. It's a different mango. It's a different aspect. I already forget about that mango. But this is why we need to hang on to the past, as in we need to be able to tap into the past. Whatever happened when I was eating that mango then, that have to spiral up forward to today, to let me know that, okay, well then, you know what? Oh, I have to be cautious of what happened. Not that I'm living in the past. No, I'm not gonna sit down there while having this mango and reminiscing on that mango was so good and I have a mango here. No. But I already jumped the timeline to alert me of this thing, and I come back and I create my past, and I'm eating my mango now, and I'm just going through life. You understand? We are not supposed to live in the past. We are not supposed to be making memories. We are supposed to remember. When you make memories, mango is good. I love mango too, man. I love mango too. Yeah, we're not supposed to be making memories. When you make memories, please like, subscribe, share the like. I'm new to this. I'm telling you guys, I'm out of my element. Normally I'm humble. Well, I'm humble. Normally I'm quiet. I spend a lot of times in my head more than I spend speaking. You know. So I have a lot of knowledge, as I'm gonna call it, perspective. I mean, some of you already waking, some of you just don't know what to do, some of you feel the struggles of life, some of you wonder and ask yourself questions every day. And to be honest, I have a perspective and that can enlighten you and shift your perspective in finding a purpose if you don't have one, right? Everybody is different, everybody have free will. You understand? No two bodies is the same, no 2 days is the same, no two things is the same. You understand? So, yeah, share the live, like, subscribe, everything. Yeah, so man, the thing is, when you plugged in, the hardest thing is to interrupt, sever that connection, you know, to make a point. Thank you. Just a second, let me get a cup of coffee here. Yeah, so the hardest thing is to sever that connection to make a point, because sometimes you just you just you know, you miss it, you lost the connection. You understand? Yeah, when you tapped in, man. And I mean, trust me, when you awaken, you just need solitude. You understand? You just want solitude. You don't want to be around nothing. I mean, it's like you purging and somebody, you ever, you ever be mapping a flow and somebody walking with their dirty boots, their dirty shoes? You know, where you see, let's say, for example, white tiles, you know, you map in the front, somebody walked in dirty. That's what it is. It's irritating. So when you're plugged in, when you're awake, you know, it's hard to be in that messy environment. It's hard to be in that toxic environment when nothing makes sense. You understand? Yeah. For me, I already consider at this point now I live my life. I get my clarity. You understand? Um, we all have desire. We all have desire, and most of the time, is our desire is what chaps us, is what keeps us here, is what keeps us vibrating at a certain level. So, come back to words as a vibration, right? Everything in life is a vibration. Now, everybody have the power within themselves to be anything they want to be. You understand? It just called focus and concentration. You understand? So anything you want to be, you just have to know that you can, and you vibrate to that. It's a vibration. Wearing a suit is a vibration. Dressing like a thug is a vibration. You understand? And the best thing in life is to be able to manage that vibration. So right now, I could be here talking to you guys in this manner, right? And I could vibrate to the lowest toddler and entertain them and play with them. Goo goo gaga gaga goo goo gaga. It's a vibration, right? After I finish that 5 minutes with that goo goo gaga, I vibrate back up to where I want to be. You understand? That's how life is, a vibration. Now, I mean, we create everything, man. We create everything. And I learn to take responsibility of my action, right? And I know for a fact that everything that I do, I am responsible for. Everything that happened within my presence, I am responsible for, right? If I come in your space and you do something to me, I have to hold myself accountable. That's how high I vibrate, because guess what? I was the one who desired to be a part of that. I left peace and calmness, tranquility, and wanted to be heard, wanted to be entertained, wanted to see, right? We're not supposed to know everything. We're not supposed to be everywhere. You understand? We're not. So for those of you who have a question, ask me any question. Ask me any question. Ask me question about reality. Ask me question about life. Even if you don't believe in God, ask me question about God. Ask me question about whatever. Let me know. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get my shit together and make more of these videos and shit. You know, like as I say, it's just a vibration. Look at this wasp here, just circling my coffee. It's a vibration. They're my friends. They understand me. You know, the only thing I can't take is when they get too close to the ears. Everything. They mean you know harm. You know, they're just curious like us. I mean, they small. They gotta come up close to see. You know, we big, and they just come and they don't even bite, sting, touch. You know, when they get close to the ears, it's a little noisy. Yeah. But that's what life is, man. Again, welcome all. Conquer. Doomedits. How you pronounce the word? Man, always good. How you pronounce the name Doomedits? Doom edits. I don't know, man. It's just words. People create words now. A lot of these words we use, they just trade as us, you know. There's some negative words, man. I'm telling you, there's some negative words that is powerful. That is powerful. Everything negative, you know. The things that they want us to be insulted by, right? To cause chaos. Don't listen to what people say to you, man. Don't listen to what people call you. You understand? Don't listen to it. And if you do, just take it positively. At least you humble yourself. You continue. No, look, there's evil in this world. There's good, there's evil. Everything is equally balanced, right? So the evilest person in this world You know, there's the good. The happiest person in this world is the evil person too much. Everything is a balance and is where for you to vibrate at. Now, to say that, you know, even in a humble self, what is just a vibration? People call you names and things. And you don't want to welcome it as a compliment, but you feel offended. I mean, let it be. But still, just know that you cannot control people. And everybody have free will. You understand? Everybody have free will. But if it's not physical, let it be. If it's not physical, let it be. And if it's physical, just know it's a vibration. You could vibrate to that level. You understand? So, find clarity within yourself. I'm going to tell you, don't go to no books. Don't go to no books. Don't go to no books, don't go to the internet, don't go to no computer. You understand? Now, when I say don't go to these things, right? We need perspective. So, a book, computer could give you a perspective. Now, when you get that perspective now, you have to channel that through your neurons. Channel it through your neurons and see where that fit. Right? Don't take it. Don't swallow the information in the book. Question the book. Question who wrote the book. Question the mindset of the person who wrote the book. Observe their life. Okay, this is what I had us to do for me. Right? We are lost, and when I realized I was lost, the only thing left to do is to find my way. Right? Now, for you to find your way, in order for you to find your way, you have to check back. You have to look where you've been, right? So for me to find my way, I have to go back in time, right? And going back years, okay, teenager, okay, child, toddler, whatever, you know. When I go back, I ain't find nothing that points the arrow to the direction I have to go. But it's to say that I lost my way, meaning, so where should I have gone? Where should I have gone? Now, I have to examine my parents' life, my mother and my father. And I have to ask my question, did they live their best life? Did my parents live their best life? Right? And the answer is no, they didn't. Because they were still struggling, right? They were still just winging it. You understand? They were still following others' criteria, right? They were still chasing a dream. Even though they come from the land, they were still chasing the dream, the money. You know? So I know for a fact that they didn't live their best life. You understand? I know for a fact that they became a sheep, right? And it is now to find my way from there. So I went back, right, to a toddler growing up, as to when I could remember having sense, consciousness, right? So from the moment you have sense and consciousness, you've been told what to do. A baby have the energy and just want to run around the house. You know, the baby have energy, want to run around the house, building muscle, building endurance, building stamina. And our old ass just want the baby to stop it, sit down, and worrying, oh, you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna this. No. So we are the one who stifle these infants from small. We were stifled from small, right? And then we were conditioned in life. Today's life only have a certain amount of steps, and the steps is you enter school. You go to school so you could get your diploma, so you could go to college, so you could get your degree, so you could get a job, however you want to put it for us. Marry, get a job, have a family, buy a house, however you want to put it. Those things you could switch it up. Marry, get a job, have kids, buy a house, whatever the case is. But those are the stages of life. Then you buy a house, you spend the rest of your life to pay off for, and the woman that you marry with the kids that you have, and everybody just grew up wanting, right? So then you retire and die. Most people retire, most people die 5 to 10 years after they retire. You understand? So retire and die. And that's what they say life is. So for me, I couldn't swallow that. That was a life for me. You understand? I'm not just here to expel, retire and die. And yeah, with 2 weeks vacation a year, no. No, that's not good for me. So I had to question everything. You understand? I had to question everything. And I go back and I realize that that's the biggest mystery in life, that we don't know who we are. We don't know what we could have been if it wasn't for generational suppressing words. I don't know. I don't know if they're right or wrong. You know? Yeah. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know how powerful we could have been. I mean, they spin the narrative. They want to say to the people living longer because of medicine, right? They're trying to hide the truth that back into the people live longer because of medicine, food, medicine. You understand? Do a little spinning narrative on you. Everything in the store comes from the land. Everything in the store comes from the land. Why do we take so much pride in cutting shortcuts? Huh? Yo, I'm not a chef, but I tell you, when I go in that kitchen, when I cook in my vegetables and stuff, when I'm dicing my stuff, the love and time and care I put into those things. You understand? I'm not a chef. But the people them who cook say, I'm like, I just break it up, I just think it up, you the thing. We gotta put love in everything that we do. We gotta take time. We gotta take time and go through life. That's the thing with society today. We move too fast. We move too fast as people in today's world, right? We feel that there's a destination to get to. But that's the thing with creating your future. There's no destination. You're not planning nothing. You're just living. You understand? It was a schedule for you to work. It was a schedule for you to eat. You were just supposed to go through life. You know, nothing is to be planned. Like like I can't even keep a time right now. You understand? Because nothing is to be planned. What's the rush? What's the next step? Why am I planning the next step when I'm not even finished with this one? Huh? Why am I planning the next step? Well, I could see why. Ego. Because we think that we're in control. And ego have to die in everybody. You kill your ego, you become the humblest, happiest man. Most peaceful. You have nothing to prove. Nothing to prove to nobody. Kill that ego and see. Kill that ego and just know that life is a vibration. Somebody say get stepping then. Get stepping to where? I mean, yeah, talk up the thing. Tell me what you have to tell me. Get stepping to where? You know? Yeah. But we gotta kill our ego. We gotta kill our ego, man. That's the thing. There are some people in life who just get comfortable with where life is. You know? They're happy with the poison. They're happy with the toxic. You know? All of us could vibrate there. All of us can say, so what? Something gotta kill you. I'm talking to you now because, I mean, for whatever it is, what is that, terrier? Me, I'm in Canada, man. I'm in Montreal, Canada. Yeah. Thank you. You know, so the The vibration of life. Once we understand that, man, we could shift gears like a like a brought down manual that you don't care about. You could jump from fourth to sixth gear if you have sixth gear. You know? Yeah. It's not recommended in a car. But if you could control that life, you could shift like that. You understand? Bro, if you think it's nice, you can do it. You understand? This is where we gotta take our life back and control ourselves, control our thoughts, right? And live for you, live in your moment. If you can't drink coffee at 11:45 a.m., it's because you're living for somebody else. If you want a coffee at 11:45 a.m., go get a coffee at 11:45 a.m. You know? Don't live for anybody, live for yourself, bro. Mm. There's a lot of things I want to say that I can't really see on here still, you know? I mean, I won't even know if I could say it, but still. But yeah, yeah. We gotta unplug. We gotta unplug from society, man. We gotta unplug from the system and plug in. We plug in ourselves, you know, plug into us. Tapped in. Ask yourself all the question, man. All the question that you ask people, ask yourself them. And don't leave a question unanswered. Take a break, but come back to it. Find clarity within yourself, and that's all I had us to do. Man, look, I question everything. If you want to talk about religion, yeah, I'm Canadian. If you want to ask me if I was born here, no, I wasn't born here, but I'm Canadian. Yeah. Yeah, ask yourself those questions. And don't, don't leave the question unanswered. Write the question until you find clarity. Yeah. I sub to you, sir. I mean, I sub. I don't know what that is, but I take it as positive. Thank you very much. Um, just to know that you just like me, man. No matter where you from, no matter your color, no matter what you think, you know, you just like me. We all know nothing. I'm talking to you because I had to shift my perspective into understanding something. And this is what I understand. I understand that I know nothing. And because I understand that, still not knowing nothing, I cannot go back there. I just have to use the best perspective for me that can allow me to drink a coffee at 11:45 in the morning. You know, so I just have to shift my perspective to me and how I could go through life every day and be a better person. You know? Oh, sub, thank you very much, my brother. I'm new to this. Like, you see, this is a vibration now, and this is a vibration that I have to pick up. I have to pick up on because, like, the lingo, like, yeah, it didn't connect. You see, my brain is always plugged in, and I have to channel myself, as I said, to be arrogant and ignorant. You know. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll do my best. Now the thing is, right, being the person who I am, I was always shy. Never. I could hold a conversation, but I was shy publicly. Right. I had my own perspective. I had my own thoughts. I feel things wasn't right. You know. So, yeah, it's just to say that this is new to me. I'm coming out of my shell, and I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say. Again, it is not a rule. It is not a law. It's just my perspective. And if everybody's trying to better themselves, thank you. If everybody's trying to better themselves, I mean, if I can shift your perspective, not to be reliant, dependent, and I mean not to swallow everything you've been fed and everything you think you hear, you see, because man, they have the hat and they know all the tricks, and they're just pulling tricks out of a hat and train it in you, man. Tricks out of a hat, you know. That's it. Your life, your choice, your whistle. But with that said, I mean, that's the thing. We use those words and phrases and stuff loosely, right? We use them loosely, and I mean, it's easier for and this is where I'm gonna call somebody else ignorant. It's easier for the ignorant people out there to say, I mean, it's my life. I could do whatever I want. Yes, it's your life. You could do whatever you want. But with understanding it's your life and you could do whatever you want is where you vibrate at. It's my life. I could do whatever I want. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to party it up. Right? It's a vibration. You get one thing right. It's your life. But it's where you're vibrating on. So the first thing is to understand the vibration. Take control of that. And know that you can jump ladders, man. You could jump ladders. You know? It's like being in the army. You be in the army and the general or the sergeant leave, the captain leave, and everybody just start talking shit and acting like thing. You know, they vibrate back down. They vibrate all the way down. And when the sergeant come back, everything come back into thing. It's a vibration. You understand? That's life. Everything in life is a vibration. Fear is a vibration. We need fear. There's a difference between being a coward and being afraid. We need fear. Right? So fear, if you embrace those things, if you embrace fear, fear will show you your way out. If you embrace it. And this is why we have to channel on the negative vibration of words and understand them to what they are. Because as I use the term again, I say, if you say I'm an asshole, that's a compliment to me. That means I am doing well by me, for me. I have to be an asshole for me. You understand? So that's my compliment. And you vibrating all the way down there, if I have to say you, a lower vibrator, right, would get mad at me for taking it as a compliment because I didn't react the way you want me to react. You understand? So it's a vibration. This is where I will smile, because you just vibrating down there. A small vibrator, a low vibrator. Yeah. Now, again, I'm going to be making some videos and some things that I never normally talk about. Using words that I wouldn't normally use, right? And a lot of people is going to chastise me and come at me and question these words. Like, I never hear you say these things, I never hear that, because I understand. Now that I understand the context in which I can use them. You understand? And I understand it's just a vibration. You understand? And I understand if you don't understand that we're just people going through life and we don't know nothing, and you take my words on the level that I'm vibrating at to heart, well then, I don't know. I can't help you. You understand? So that's true. As long as you don't touch me, that's a whole different story. That's physical contact. You know? When somebody touch you, again, reflex is a vibration. When somebody touch you, your reflex activate, right? So if you come and you touch me and I activate my reflex, and you know, it's a vibration. So yeah, as long as you don't touch me, it's okay. You understand? As long as you don't touch me. Now, man, what do we know? What do we know? Anyways, this live is getting long. I'm gonna cut it now. Like and subscribe, share the live, and I'll be back. I'll be back to touching on a bunch of things, man. I have a lot. I have everything to touch on. I have everything from food to animal to death to life. Yo, and while I'm here, I gotta say rest in peace to Jane Goodall. That woman, she she was a woman connected to life, to earth, to the source. You understand? And yeah, I didn't follow her throughout her career, but me being a me having my connection to earth, me being an early person, like I watch a lot of her documentaries and shows and stuff, you know, and I felt her energy, you know. So I just want to say sleep well. I have a lot to talk about, man. God, the devil, life after death. Life after death. There's no life after death. This is the only life. But there's something after death. You understand? So I'm not here to bash anybody religion, God, because it's a vibration and it's just perspective, you know. We all call what we look at God. Ah, boy. The thing is, it's hard to tap into this. At the moment, I don't know where to start. But I know when I'm on the topic is, I know exactly where to start, you know. But it's hard to tap into this. But yeah, I'm willing to entertain anybody and ask a question. And I could answer you with my perspective, you know. And hopefully, I can give you some clarity. And from my perspective, you could find your own. You understand? What everybody wants, to be left alone. Right? That's what everybody wants, to be left alone. Anyways, as I say, like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back. As I said, I'm new to this, so let's see how to get out. Okay, bye.